What is up, guys, and welcome back to the show. Eric here, as we all know, or as some of you know. If you're new here, what's up? So, in this video, as the beautiful title suggests, we're going to be talking about the Bambu Labs A1 printer with the AMS light, some issues I've encountered into my 3 months of journey with this bad boy, and how you can avoid those or help you overcome those issues. So first things first, we're gonna go over our topics. It's gonna be pretty much filament types per job, bed adhesion, and then having errors with the AMS light, which I've encountered, and then some tips and tricks on Bambu Labs' software. So let's get to it. So as most of you know, we're gonna talk about filaments. So Bambu Labs has their own filament. You've got PETG, PLA, ABS, PLA Silk, PLA Matte, PLA this, that, and other ones that I don't use because I don't have a need for them just yet. So I'm going to talk about what I use currently, which is you have your PLA Basic, your Silk stuff, which changes colors and whatnot, and I have on the AMS light, I've got my PETG. So let's get to it. First things first, guys, you don't got to buy Bambu's. Even though it might be a better quality as far as how it's pulled onto the roll, etc. I purchased a variety of brands on Amazon. This one here is Orion, I believe it is. I've got Overture. I've got a ton of Overture just because they go on sale. Usually they're $15.99 for a kilo or 2.2 pounds. Same thing with Orion, whatever you want to call it. I've got other brands in there that I've got, Soval and things like that. Overall though, they work great. Now, what material do you use for what products? I live currently in Utah, and I've lived in Florida, and one of the common things out there is heat. So let's just say PLA and PLA Silk and the heat, no bueno. So if you're planning to do anything that involves being outside or in a vehicle or things like that, PETG is the way to go. As far as high temps, I would assume ABS would be the best. PETG, I would assume, has a failing point. So pick wisely. Anything that I have indoors, from being my battery case thingamajiggy, like that, to little knickknacks that you make. So this is a little gun I made. I use just PLA Basic just because it's indoors. It's not going to see any heat. So yeah. Let's get to the second thing, which will be bed adhesion. So let's go to our overhead cam right over here. Put this bad boy down. Let's get to it. What is up, guys? And here we are. So bed adhesion. We've all had the issue where our material, let me give you some light up here, guys. Our material will not stick to it. So what you can either do is open up Bambu Labs' software. I'll go ahead and show you that now while we're talking. Alright guys, so we got Bambu Studio here opened up. Let's go ahead and go to our correct printer, use modified tabs. Alright, so once you're in their software, go to your printer. You're gonna go to others, as you can see here. Brim type, go into outer brim only. We'll leave it at a 5. Go to a 3 sometimes just to save material. When you slice it, you will see that on certain areas, it'll have this little lines here, which is your brim. So what happens first, it will be that the printer will print this out and leave a small, slight little gap between the brim and the object, but that'll create some adhesion benefits to your product that will stick on it. So if this solves your problem, great. If it doesn't, check this out. So Aiden, one of my good friends, says, hey, there's a trick you can try, and it's good old-fashioned Elmer's glue stick. So what you would do, pop the cap off that bad boy, bring it out. What I do is I just go from end to end, just slightly overlayering it, and you would just get some glue onto it. I've never had to reapply between prints. I've done it for roughly 10-12 prints, and it sticks right to it. It adds a layer of adhesion to it. Since these plates are smooth, they're not textured, even though For the texture plate, I still use glue, as you can see. I would go as far as saying that it's a little cold still where I'm at. I don't have the heater on, so my plate's, I don't know, it just doesn't stick sometimes, so I use the glue, and it works. If you pair it with the brim, it works even better, so definitely check that out. So, another tip, my guys, follow the instructions on your filament, because that also will assist in adhesion, how your print looks. Sometimes I'll mess around with my settings. If I notice that at my current settings it does not adhere well or print well, I will just bounce up, 5 degrees Celsius, up or down, the speed. I try to always have my initial print or layer at a slower speed and a higher temperature. So hopefully it adheres to it. So yeah, now we're gonna get into our third little mistakes or issues that happen. For me with the AMS Lite, I will be printing out a 8, 9, 10 hour long print, and it'll tell me, hey, the spool is stuck. So what I've started to do is I'd get out my strand, and then I would typically just pull out as much as I believe I would need, just to make sure that there's no layer overing the spool or the filament, and then I just wrap it up, carefully, making sure that it does not overlayer itself and cause any issues down the line. Because as we all know, when a print stops and it's there for hours and hours on end, and then you reprint again, you'll see a line in your object, and we do not want that. So guys, overall, these are 3 tips that have helped me with my printing as I go along with it. So yeah, if you have any issues you've encountered and found solutions, drop them down below, guys. Please, if you've been this far into the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Deuces.